Hello, Grand Strand. This is Richard Florzak, the private chef to the stars, and welcome back to Talking About Food. We are the only food commentary. You know what? We're not anymore. We are not the only food commentary show on the Grand Strand. I just discovered that the lovely Amy Everhart of the Myrtle Beach Foodie Babe now does a podcast of her own, which is terrific. I wish her a lot of luck. She's been on the show a number of times, and she has a podcast of her own. I think it's on YouTube. What is it called? Eat a Bite, Take a Bite, something like that. Anyway, check it out. You've often heard me say that we have restaurant owners, chefs, food truck owners, and once in a while we'll have somebody in the public eye, but whether public eye or not, the topic is always food, and we never talk politics, which is an interesting segue into the introduction of my in-studio guest, because he is in the public eye and he is involved in politics. Congressman Russell Fry of District 7, which encompasses all of the Grand Strand, which is what I talk about. Congressman, welcome to Talking About Food.
Oh, it was great to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. Now, you've been on Maria Bartiromo, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity. Interesting how you used them to get on my show.
That's right. I mean, we've been trying to get on this podcast forever. And, you know, I was like, how much do I have to do?
Well, well, it worked. Mel Gibson used a similar strategy because he was on episode 5, and I'll never forget. He's calling me, Richard, please, can I be on your show? And I was like, yeah, sure. No problem, Mel. We'll have you on.
We'll pencil you in.
The next week, he goes on to Joe Rogan. The nerve of that guy using me to get to Joe Rogan. So, Russell, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you were one of the first people that we met when we moved here to South Carolina.
That's right.
And you just opened up this floodgate to people for us. And it's because of you that we have this wonderful, wonderful group of people that we've stayed friends ever since. And I didn't want to have you on without thanking you for that.
No, so, that was a cool event. Y'all had just moved here.
Yeah.
We had that. I think I was campaigning for the first time, and you. Was that right? You were the chef at the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of our neighbors said we had just met her by pure coincidence, and she had told us that the caterer had to quit and she was scrambling. And I said, I might be able to offer my services. And she said, yeah, let's do it. And I'm so glad that happened because, like I said earlier, you just introduced us to so many fine people. I usually, at this next question, I usually wait until the end when I'm asking a chef or a restaurant owner or whatever, but it always ends up being my favorite topic to talk about. What is your one sort of crazy indulgence food-wise that you'd be embarrassed for people to find out? Now, I'll tell you something so you don't think I'm like setting you up here or anything. Adam Kirby, owner chef of Bistro 217, was on. I asked him that question, and he hemmed and hawed for a little while, and he goes, and you could tell he was embarrassed to say it. He goes, Cheez Whiz.
Oh my gosh, I was literally just thinking Cheez Whiz. Well, and here's the I think that actually might be it for me. But my aunt, there's such a weird story about it. First of all, it's total garbage. I don't know what's in it. I just know it's not good for you, right? Yeah. But my aunt used to take these bugles. Remember the bugles?
Yeah,
They're like the fingernails.
Yep.
And she would fill up the bugle with Cheez Whiz and make like a little ice cream cone. And so I haven't done that in a while. Yeah. But any time that I'm like just trash eating food, my wife's like, "What are you doing? Like that's such a weird combo." I'm like, "Watch this, babe. This is the best. This will blow your socks off." Yeah. But Cheez Whiz, honestly, is probably my
Cheez Whiz and Bugles.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes, in that combo, you got to make a little ice cream cone out of it.
I can see it now with my background. Immediately, I'm visually, trying to see what it would look like. And you could almost do that like an upscale or past hors d'oeuvre.
Correct.
Right? You have it fanned out around the silver tray with the
have a little
doily.
garnish on there. Now you're high class.
I just love it. Anyway, by the way, but during the course of the interview, if you think of others, just throw them out because I love it. So you grew up in Surfside, right?
Yes.
How has the food scene changed in your view?
I think it's changed a lot, and I think it's still changing. Right? I mean, it used to be, a meat and three, a pizza shop, a burger place. And fried seafood all over the Grand Strand, and it still has a lot of that. But I think that there's just this ongoing, emerging ecosystem of the restaurant scene in a good way. That if you want sushi, there's some really great places for that. That if you want, a very nice steak steakhouse, there's that too. And so people, are kind of testing things out and doing different things, and the restaurant industry here is just kind of emerging, and you're starting to see, fusions of things come in. Certainly, I'd say the Mexican food is big, obviously, but there's a lot of different types of Korean barbecues coming in. I mean, so there's just it's a cool place.
Yeah, and it's hard for me I've been here 4 years, but I still consider myself somewhat of an outsider. But coming from, a metropolis like Los Angeles, where they had all of that.
Right.
It's hard for me to notice it that much. That's why I'm always asking folks like you and other locals about the change in the food scene. So that's a good thing. And you think most people welcome that?
I do. I mean, and say chain restaurants, I think people are getting away from chain restaurants, and some chains are just not doing that well. Maybe that was the business model back then, but people kind of want authentic, food truck type stuff, or little hole in the wall strip mall restaurant where they make excellent, say tacos or something. Yeah. People kind of want that. And so the market's there for it. And so just to watch it change, I think is a good thing.
I've had a number of food truck owners on the show, and their only gripe is they find it difficult to set up in certain areas,
right. Dealing with the city government or something like that. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
They want to tax you to death.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're certainly starting to bloom. I mean, I see them popping up all over the place, which is a good thing. Is your mother a good cook?
Yes.
What are her what do you remember about some of the dishes that she would put together?
I can't remember what she called it, but there was some sort of I'm not going to say it was a casserole, but it was breaded chicken and kind of a mushroom broth with Swiss cheese, and you'd put it over rice, and it was just so good. I mean, that was some, and then she had this London broil that she used to make, and I don't know what was in the marinade, but I just remember as a kid, it was just so good.
Yeah.
You slice it into thin slices and, have some green beans and mashed potatoes with it. It was awesome.
You can't go wrong with that. But already I'm visualizing the chicken and broth. And Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese.
Wow.
Yeah.
Baked it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cooked the chicken, put it and it was, but the broth was so good, because it, you put it over the rice too. And just made it just
how was the chicken cooked?
Yeah, I think she did. She hasn't done it in a while, but I think she did it in maybe oven baked, or maybe even probably oven baked. And then she'd put it in this concoction of whatever was in there. And I just remember, especially the mushrooms, that just hit the spot.
Yeah, yeah. Was it like breaded?
Yes,
the chicken.
Yes.
Yeah. So it got thick once you baked it. Wow. Wow. What are some of your favorite restaurants along the Grand Strand?
I think it depends on what I'm in the mood for. I think Wicked Tuna is a great place because of its proximity that I take people to. I just took a cabinet secretary there, Lori Chavez Dreamers, the labor secretary for President Trump. Took her down to Wicked Tuna. I think Sea Captain's House is a staple in Myrtle Beach.
Sorry to interrupt, but you know what blew me away just recently? And I do the same thing when people come into town. I like to take them to Wicked Tuna because there's, a nice selection, but I mean, you can't beat the view.
The view's great.
Right.
Yeah.
But I hadn't been there in about 6 months, so I show up with my family, and we're sitting in the bar area, and the bartender comes over, and my family's saying, "What's good?" And he says, "Well, I believe we have the best burger on the Grand Strand." And I said, "You know what? I'm going to have that." It was excellent.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had the burger.
I love, as I'm sure you do. I think you do. Greg's Cabana.
Yes.
It's one of the first restaurants I went to.
A little hole in the wall.
Oh, man, I love that. But I'm telling you, this burger at Wicked Tuna is to die for. What about pizza?
Oh, gosh, there's so many pizza
Isn't there,
places
though?
here.
You can literally, you start talking about pizza with
especially
people,
where we live. I mean, you think like within a mile radius.
I know, it's like on every corner. And it's the one item that I find that you could actually see people almost coming to a fist fight over which one is better.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I think and around us, I mean, obviously Mellow Mushroom is excellent. There's a New York place. I cannot remember the name of it, but it's really good. You know what's another good restaurant down in Roseville is Costa. Have you been there?
Yeah, a couple times. They are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe too. I mean, it's a good atmosphere in there. The bar is great. The restaurant on the back's great. You can't beat it. 21 Main up on the north end of the beach. That is a great steak. I would put that up against any steakhouse in
21
Washington.
Main.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have good sushi there.
Yeah.
So those are some, but it's a drive for us in Murrells Inlet. It's a little bit of a hike, but that's a good place to go.
If you're going to take your lovely wife out for dinner and it's extra special, where do you go?
You know what? You got to make a reservation because it's tiny and they always fill up. So you have to do a reservation. But Malibu in Surfside Beach.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Malibu in Surfside Beach.
Haven't been there yet. I remember talking to you one time about asking you, I think it was about seafood, or maybe it was just a general question, but you mentioned sea blue too.
Yeah.
Sea blue.
Yeah.
You like that. What about, well, you just said Malibu. Other Italian places?
There's some good ones up here. Malibu's interesting though because it used to be called the Surfside Diner, and I think it was called the Surfside Diner. And anyway, I have a great family history in that building. The old owner, manager's name was Dave Heckman. He passed away, but when it was the prior restaurant, when my grandmothers passed away, they moved here in the 70s and they went there all the time. And so when both of my grandmothers passed away, Dave put up a placard by the booth that they always sat in.
Oh, nice.
Is kind of this booth, is Judy Fry's.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really cool. So Malibu, it's an Italian family, but the mother, her favorite place in the world, and she's like old Italy, but her favorite place in the world was Malibu, like in California. And so they kind of honored her favorite place and called their family restaurant Malibu.
Yeah.
Malibu of Surfside Beach. So it's a great spot.
That's cool. I've heard that a number of times, how good they are. Real home style.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Asian?
Oh gosh. Asian's tricky around here because you can get you can get the stuff that's, you can get a lot of it. There is a really good Thai restaurant right up the road called Mango Thai Cuisine. Have you been there?
Yes, I do like that.
Yeah.
Have you been to Blue Elephant?
I have not. I need to go in there.
It's just this kind of crazy thing about you have to call ahead for reservations, and sometimes they pick up the phone, sometimes they don't. I kind of like that. It could really tick off other people, but I've heard real good things about that. There's a place up in Myrtle Beach called Dumplings and Seafood.
I haven't tried that.
It is phenomenal. I studied in Hong Kong, so I'm partial to Chinese, and they send out some of the dishes with robots.
Oh wow!
Which
I just it's just crazy over there. And the food scene, I was just in Tokyo actually for a diplomatic trip. And man, it was awesome. I mean, the sushi is incredible. The restaurant where they filmed Kill Bill, the movie Kill Bill, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but we went there and you had to roll me out of that restaurant because I ate so much sushi. It just was so good. But I love a good good Asian restaurant.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's one of my favorites. Your wife, Bronwyn, is quite the accomplished baker.
She is.
What are some of your favorites of hers? I know you brought I think it was an orange cranberry loaf over to us one time, and I think I finished it before you were out of the driveway. It was so good.
You know, she it's funny how she does love to cook, and she in particular she loves to bake. Our son has an egg allergy, so her having to figure out how to make something taste normal without eggs, she has created a master class on how to do it. And but she, you know, her cookies are good. I don't have a particular sweet tooth, but I will say that when she bakes something, I'm always in it. I'm always going to have a bite because it's good. I mean, her cupcakes are excellent. Her cakes. She does these great brownies. Around Christmas time, she does a ton of different types of cookies. And this isn't just, these are all from scratch. I mean, she really just does a good job with them. The presentation's excellent. The taste is good. Blends a bunch of stuff in it. And
everything is egg-free.
Everything.
God bless her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff I used to have to deal with in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy. I don't have an egg allergy, so I don't think about it. But when you try something that has an egg replacer in it, either natural like a banana or something like that, or the powdered stuff that you buy at the store, it always has a weird taste.
Yeah.
Just a little bit off.
Right.
And I don't know how she's done it, but she's managed to master making it taste like it had egg in it, but it doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
She could teach classes in that.
She should.
That kind of stuff is really, really popular with all the different allergies that they have out there. I was just telling somebody the other day that, you know, every time I went up for a private chef job in Hollywood, which thankfully I didn't have to do it that often, they always said the same thing. We're easy. We like everything until your first day on the job. And then you hear about everybody's food idiosyncrasies in the family. And you're like wondering how you're going to handle it. I've seen you in private life, and I've seen you in Washington up close and personal. I don't know of anybody who works as hard as you do. How do you manage to eat while you're working so many hours in D.C.?
Well, it's always a tricky thing, right? I mean, you try to eat healthy or healthy-ish, but it's hard. You're on the road a bunch. Lunches. I've never been a breakfast person. I love breakfast food. Lunch is always a thing, either on the go or a scheduled out thing. But I like dinners. I like the camaraderie of a dinner.
Yeah.
I like just meeting with people. So, we find time to eat. I'm a pretty big guy, so got to eat at some point. But it's so easy
though to pack on the pounds when you've got a schedule like you have. It's so easy to just say, "Oh, I'll just stop and I'll grab a burger."
Convenience food, right? I mean, you're on the road campaigning, or you're traveling from place to place, or you're flying up to Washington. You just grab something that's easy.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard. I'm down a little bit of weight right now, which is good.
You look great. I said that to you when you came in.
But it is a tough lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, we had the honor of following you around a couple times up there, and you set it up so that we could dine. We had lunch at, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it. It is private, but you managed to get us in, the Republican.
Oh, the Capitol Hill Club.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, their lunch is really good.
Holy moly. That was to me like old world style buffets, the way they used to be.
Yeah.
With high quality. I remember we had about an hour to dine, and then we were off to go somewhere else. And I was thinking, darn, I wish I could stay here and do another round here at the. And then we went for dinner to an Italian place. It was upstairs.
Oh yes. Oh gosh, what is the name of that? I'll think about it here in a minute. And that place is such a good hole in the wall.
Excellent.
They've got great chicken parmesan lasagna. I mean, it's been there forever. But the old Speaker of the House, John Boehner, used to love that place.
Yeah.
In fact, there's an item on the menu called the Boehner, which is something that he liked.
Yeah.
Because he had a trademark glass of red wine. He always chain smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
and he loved his Italian food.
Yeah. Do you know what the Boehner was?
I can't remember. I think it had shellfish in it, so I couldn't eat it because I have a shellfish allergy. But it was some sort of, but whatever it was, they put it on the menu because when he was speaker, I mean, that was the political epicenter of Washington because that's where he went almost every night.
Yeah.
And so if you wanted to go see the speaker, well, you went to his favorite restaurant.
That's where you went.
It's hole in the wall, and it's not that big.
No, it was not.
So this place was
packed. It was real cozy too. I liked it. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have favorite restaurants other than what we just mentioned in
think
DC?
There's one now that just reopened. It's been there for a while, but they closed down and they just reopened. It's called the Occidental. It's over by the White House, but they have a pork chop there that's kind of I would say it's a historical story. But it dealt with the Communist Soviet Union meeting with a member of the press over something around the fall of the Berlin Wall, I believe. But the pork chop is what they both shared that day. So this thing is on the menu, and there's like this whole historical reference in the menu. But they've done a really good job of making that kind of old school vibe. You know, you've got the lights on the table, with the dark leather chairs, and and then it's very 1920s esque a little bit, and but a good vibe. They've got great food. I mean, they even have these are like swanky restaurants in Washington, and this fits the bill from the vibe. But even on the menu, they have pigs in a blanket as an appetizer, which is good. It's like homemade mustard and. But this is really good food. And the Occidental's a new one. I think another one in Washington that's really good is Ocean Prime, which is both steak and sushi. It's a good spot.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, now that I'm hungry.
I know, me too. We're sitting here talking food.
Yeah, we should go over to Judy Boone's.
There you go.
You like Judy Boone's?
Yeah.
How could you not like that place?
That's good.
Yeah.
Good spot.
That is Congressman Russell Fry of District 7 taking time out from his super busy day. Congressman, thanks so much. I so appreciate you coming in.
Of course.
And during the break, I'm going to see if I could do some quick research on that restaurant that Congressman Fry was talking about, that former Speaker of the House John Boehner used to frequent. And then I'll do a recap on some of the restaurants that we talked about. Hang around, folks. And another thank you to Congressman Russell Fry for coming on the show and talking about food. I'm sure it's the only interview he's ever done where he talked specifically about food. And yours truly did find the restaurant that former Speaker of the House John Boehner used to frequent. It's called Trattoria Alberto of Capitol Hill, and there is a Boehner signature dish on the menu. It's called veal a la Boehner. Veal lightly breaded and baked, served with a fried egg and anchovies. Now that sounds interesting. And it's only a mere $42.95. So, oh man, you think about how we often complain about the prices here in the Grand Strand. I'd like to pay that. But, oh well, we've got great stuff here. We don't need to be there. Anyway, just wanted to do a quick recap of some of the restaurants that Congressman Russell Fry and I talked about. He likes Sea Blue up in Myrtle Beach. 21 Main, he said the steak there he'll put up against any of the high-end steak restaurants in D.C. Mellow Mushroom he likes for pizza. Mango Thai of Surfside. Malibu, Italian restaurant in Surfside, one of his favorites, goes there a lot. I mentioned Greg's Cabana for burgers. Wicked Tuna he was talking about he likes, and I like it too, but I also mentioned the burger there. It's unknown. People don't know that about Wicked Tuna, but check it out when you go there again. Blue Elephant Thai in Murrells Inlet. Dumplings and Seafood in Myrtle Beach is one of my favorite Chinese restaurants. So, just about going to wrap up the show. I'm getting ready. In less than 24 hours, my wife and I will be on a plane to the Jersey Shore, one of my favorite places on earth. And I'll speak for myself. I will be doing two things there, fishing and eating. There's a handful of restaurants there that I grew up with. Can't wait to go there. And my brother Ronald is preparing the house for us with all of our favorite items to eat. And actually, he didn't text or call while I was doing the show. There's this like ongoing thing that whenever I'm doing a show, I look down at my phone and my brother Ronald's called me. Probably feels he doesn't have to because he knows that we'll be there in about 24 hours. So a lot of restaurants to ponder there, folks, on episode 41. But you don't want to go out? Don't go out. I know you can handle it because you are your family's private chef. Thanks so much for listening, folks.